Niantic has announced a couple of events that are coming to Pokémon GO, one of which is going to be debuting some new Pokémon along with a brand new shiny, which I am definitely looking forward to. But we're also going to be getting a hatch day featuring Munchlax, and I really do think this is going to be one you will not want to miss out on. I'm going to be talking about both of these events in this video. Let's get right into it. Alright, what's happening everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So, we are going to be getting a couple of events in the month of August, and one of them is actually going to be giving us a brand new Pokemon family along with a brand new shiny. And I thought it was very interesting that this event in particular, it's going to be called the Cozy Companion event. It's themed around snow Pokemon, or I should say like it's a little bit more of a winter theme, which is very odd considering that it is August. It's in the middle of the summer for a majority of people, and they're going with a snow themed event. But regardless of that, yes, there's going to be a brand new Pokemon family along with a new shiny, and it's going to be shiny TANDEMOUS. I'm really much looking forward to that. I think it's a very cool Pokemon. It may not necessarily be completely relevant. I don't think it's useful pretty much anywhere in the game, but it's certainly a fan favorite. And oddly enough, the shiny form, it's one of those where it's kind of like shiny Gengar. There's not really much of a visual difference, unfortunately. But still, if you want to get yourself a shiny TANDEMOUS, it's going to be released with this event. So let's talk about the details for this event, and then afterwards, let me tell you about that hatch day that we're going to be getting. The Cozy Companions event is going to be from August 6th at 10 o'clock a.m. local time, and it's going to go until August 12th at 8 o'clock p.m. local time. The featured Pokemon for this event is of course the brand new Pokemon Snom, as well as its evolved form Frostmoth. These two Pokemon are going to be making their Pokemon Go debut with this event, and I do think they're going to be something that a lot of players will want to get. Now during this event, we're going to see the following event bonuses. You're going to get double the amount of experience every time you hatch an egg, you're going to get one extra special trade per day, and then you're going to have an increased chance to get TANDEMOUS from Party Play. So if you have a buddy that you play with Party Play, both of you should end up seeing more TANDEMOUS spawns. And then for friends in your friends list, you're going to get friendship levels a lot faster, so make sure you're opening and sending gifts during this event because you do not want to miss out on this bonus. Now, in order to evolve Snom into Frostmoth, you're going to need 400 candy, and then you need to earn 10 hearts with the Snom as your buddy, and then you can only evolve it at night, which is quite a lot to get yourself a Frostmoth. If it ends up that Frostmoth is not a relevant Pokemon, then this is definitely going to be a lot of stuff for you to do just to get the Pokedex entry, but I do think Frostmoth might see some play, at least in PvP. And then, like I mentioned, shiny TANDEMOUS is going to be making its debut during this event, and considering that you're going to have an increased chance to encounter it with Party Play, I do predict that a lot more players are going to engage with that feature. Now, these are going to be the wild encounters during this event. You're going to see Abra, Geodude, Carablast, Shelmet, Phantom, as well as an uncommon spawn rate of Alolan Geodude, and then hatching in 7km eggs is going to be Galarian Farfetch, Pancham, the new Pokemon Snom, as well as Charcadet. There's also going to be a timed research which is going to be available to everyone. It's going to award you with one lucky egg, encounters with event-themed Pokemon including Snom and TANDEMOUS, so they will be giving you a Snom and TANDEMOUS directly through this timed research, so you don't necessarily have to hatch a whole bunch of eggs, but considering you need so much candy to evolve a Snom, you might want to hatch eggs regardless. And then there's also going to be a paid time research for $1.99, and it's going to give you a lucky egg, 1 star piece, as well as more encounters with Snom and TANDEMOUS. Now, the Cozy Companion event is not the only event that they announced recently. They also mentioned that there was going to be a hatch day featuring the Pokemon Munchlax. And something that is key with hatch days is that it is a great opportunity for you to get yourself high IV shinies, and that means you can get yourself possibly a Shundo of Snorlax. That is definitely going to be something that you would want to use for gym battles or something like that. I do think it's going to be a great gym defender that you could use. So yeah, let's talk about this hatch day, and then afterwards, let me give you my thoughts regarding both of these events. Munchlax Hatch Day is going to be happening on August 9th from 11 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. local time. This is going to be an event where you will be able to get a whole bunch of Munchlax by hatching eggs, and yes, they will be giving you an increased chance to get a shiny of it. These are going to be the event bonuses during this Munchlax hatch day. You're going to get double the amount of candy from hatching eggs, you're going to have an increased chance of hatching shiny Munchlax, and then you're going to have an increased chance of getting 2-kilometer eggs, which are going to contain those Munchlax when you spin Pokestops. There's also going to be a timed research, which is going to give you 1 incubator as well as 5,000 experience, and then a paid timed research, which is going to give you double the amount of Stardust whenever you hatch eggs as a bonus, and then 1 star piece as well as 2 super incubators. If Stardust is something that you need, then maybe this paid timed research might be worth it, considering that when you hatch eggs, you do get a substantial amount of Stardust. So if you were to pop a star piece and then hatch a whole bunch of eggs throughout this event, you might end up getting yourself a lot of Stardust. And then of course, there's going to be a hatch day extended bonus. On August 7th at 10 o'clock AM to August 9th at 5 o'clock PM, you're gonna have a half egg hatch distance bonus. Alright, so there you have it. This is all the details for both this Cozy Companion event as well as this Munchlax hatch day. And let me tell you, I'm really excited about these events. I know when it comes to the Cozy Companions event, there's going to be some naysayers out there who are going to say it's very disappointing. To that, I totally understand, considering that the new Pokemon is only obtainable from hatching eggs. Once again, Niantic is going back to that. But overall, I still feel like this is a pretty solid event because you're going to be able to get yourself a shiny Tandemouse, and that is a Pokemon that you could potentially find in the wild. So overall, I think it's pretty good. I think they did a pretty good job with it, and yeah, maybe they could have done some more things, but considering it is a bit of an egg hatching themed event, naturally they would probably put the new Pokemon in eggs, but at the very least, I presume it's going to be available after this event ends, so there's no rush for you to get the new Pokemon. You could just go about it a little bit easier, and then eventually you'll pick it up. The one thing I do need to mention though is that the candy cost to evolve from Snom to Frostmoth? Like, it's 400 candy? That is insane. That's double what it would cost to evolve a Magikarp. You're gonna have to hatch a whole bunch of eggs and possibly even dump a whole bunch of your rare candies, and I think that's pretty crazy. For a Pokemon that's not spawning in the wild, yeah, I could definitely see how that could rub players the wrong way. But yeah, regardless of that, I do think it's going to be a pretty good event, at least in my opinion, but yeah, who knows? They're going to be essentially time gating a particular Pokemon, so hopefully it's not necessarily going to be super relevant, so you do not have to prioritize it. But also with that Munchlax hatch day, I think that's actually going to be pretty great. I think a lot of people tend to have mixed feelings towards hatch days, but I do tend to have a lot of fun with them. It definitely gets me to go out and walk a whole lot because I need to hatch those eggs, and I've actually been able to pick up some decent shinies from hatch days, so you know, it is what it is. If you want to get yourself a high IV shiny of Snorlax, it's going to be a great way for you to get it. So yeah, in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. What are your thoughts regarding these events? Do you feel like the Cozy Companion event is a bit of a disappointment, or do you feel like it's really exciting? What are your thoughts regarding the Munchlax hatch day? Definitely share those thoughts in the comments down below, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if it's your first time here, and also don't forget the notification bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Content channel, the best way you could do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. And if you become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. That means for stuff like remote raids, the friendship system, opening and sending gifts. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. I'll put a link to it in the description below. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you can do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow, and you'll have access to some exclusive content, and you'll be able to keep up with my daily life. With all that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.